Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a Switch/gaming My 2 cent video where I take a look at some of the stories that came out this week and give you my thoughts and my opinions about it. Before we do that, I just want to say that there won't be any video game review, at least for this week, though, okay? I'll try to get to one next week, though. A couple things have come up, so I gotta have the time to do it. That's the thing. So, unfortunately, none for this week. But for this week, we're gonna be looking at 3 interesting stories that came out this week that, in my opinion, caught my attention and all. So why don't we get started with it, though? So let me get my notes. The first one is the The first one is the announcement that came from the Tokyo Game Show. I will do a separate video on that one, plus a little thought about a situation that occurred. So I'll get to that one hopefully soon. But for this one, we'll be talking about basically one of the announcements that came out. And that is, and apparently it's not going to be everyone's taste, but apparently Galgun.to, a sequel to the first Galgun game that was released on the PS4 and Vita and was released over here in the West in 2016, is getting a sequel. And not only is it coming to the PS4, but it is also coming to the Nintendo Switch. From a post on Destructoid, again, link will be in the description, it says, Indie Creates, the developing team that absolutely knocked it out apart with support on the Switch, will continue to bring the love this winter with Galgun.to. The game, which is actually the 4th in the series, is also coming to the PS4 and will have a playable demo at the Tokyo Game Show, which I'm pretty sure that's happened already. Galgun.to will have more of the same naughty gameplay I enjoyed, or this is the person who wrote the article, with Double Peace, but with new character in school full of new girls waiting to be satisfied. In addition to spraying teens with your pheromone shot, that certainly came out the wrong way, and rubbing them down during Doki Doki mode, Galgun.to will also feature the Demon Sweeper vacuum gadget from Galgun VR. It's currently unclear if it launches this winter is for Japan or worldwide, but more information will be released in the coming weeks. And a recent update points out that Cube Games, the publisher that published the first one, has confirmed it will be publishing the title in North America and Europe in first quarter 2018, so possibly this winter. According to their site, though, it points out that the game will basically, it's pretty much the same thing from the first Galgun, with some new some new characters, new heroes. There's some side missions. Of course, the debuted Galgun VR, the Demon Vacuum gadget, Demon Sweeper is back, separating demons from the girls they possess with a well-placed pheromone shot, then suck up for bonus points. In Galgun.to, you might even find some new things to suck up. Of course, we know where that's headed. And then, of course, Doki Doki mode is back. One of the most infamous feature, they quote the infamous part of Galgun series, the Doki Doki mode, will be back in Galgun.to. Further juicy details will be revealed at a later date, so keep your eyes and ear open about that. Alright, I'm fully aware this is not a series for everybody. I mean, if anybody who's played that game, and I have, and I did a review on the game, I'll have a link in the description, you can check it out, though. Audio might not be perfect, but you can see for yourself, and of course the trailer if you want to see for yourself. Obviously, this is not going to be a game for everyone, okay? And to be quite frankly honest, it is basically a on-rail shooter with fan service. And based on what this information is coming out, it's pretty much going to be more of the same, though, which, if you hate the first one, obviously this one's not going to change your opinion. If you like the first one, then you'll probably like this one as well. Again, it's a fan service game. Not going to appeal to a whole lot of people. It might appeal to some people, but not everyone is going to enjoy it. But if this is the kind of game you're into, though, then it's worth checking out. There were other reports coming out that the Switch version will basically be available on the eShop. I don't know if there will be a physical copy, let alone if a physical copy is going to be in Japan only or not, assuming that exists, or whether or not people will import that or not. And no word on any features, at least as far as I'm aware of, that will be included into either the Switch version or not. But given how the upcoming Serene Kagura series is going to use the the HD Rumble for obvious reasons, though I wouldn't be surprised if they use the feature, that's my phone, don't worry about it, use any kind of features whatsoever. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but who knows. But overall, fans of the first one will be pleased to know a sequel is coming. And it's also going to make its debut on the Nintendo Switch. Whether Switch owners are going to be happy to see this title or not remains to be seen, but great that the game did well. According to the company's website, they pointed out that the game has sold 200,000 copies worldwide. Obviously, it's a niche title, so it's obviously did well, but kudos for them that they're bringing it over to the PS4 and the Switch. Whether or not that appeals to people or not, it's going to be based on their taste. But overall, if you like the first one, if you are willing to embrace the fan service for what it is, then I'm sure you'll probably enjoy this one indeed. A little weird, but alright. Alright, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about comments made recently about Ubisoft regarding Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and I mean that in a good way, though. So we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our My 2 Cent video for this week. And for this one, for the second part, we are going to be taking a look at some articles that have recently come out about the game Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle that, of course, was released on the Switch. And apparently, according to some of these articles, they're pointing out that the game has sold or did very well. From a post, if I can get it up here, from a post on GameStop, it says, quote, "It may have seemed like an unusual premiere at first, but Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is proving to be a critical and commercial success. The Ubisoft game is now Nintendo Switch's top-selling non-Nintendo title, according to sales numbers from the NPD Group and Chart Track GfK and reported by Eurogamer. While titles like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Splatoon 2 have continued to dominate the sales charts, other third-party games like Super Bomberman R have sold well." That's not bad. Still, Mario plus Rabbids have already topped the list since its release at the end of August. Eurogamer is also reporting that Nintendo has picked up the gaming for publish in Japan and South Korea. As a side note, though, the Switch is prepared to be released in South Korea, though. Back in early September, sales data from Australia and New Zealand showed that Mario plus Rabbids was the top-selling game across all platforms in the two countries during its launch week. The game was the second most purchased game across all platforms during the same week in the UK. While official sales numbers have not been revealed yet, I've been trying to find those. I don't know if they are out yet, though. If what they're saying is true, I have to say that's a good thing, and I'm glad the game is doing very well, though. I played the game myself. I did a review on it. Let me find that video. I'll have a link in the description. You could check out that video myself. And while I will admit the game does have some performance issues in certain areas, I've ran into the game kind of slowing down when certain animations are happening, and when playing it in portable mode, I noticed that the game kind of freezes for a little bit, like maybe like a second or two, and then it starts back up. I don't know if that's the Switch or that's the game itself. I'm hoping they can patch that up pretty soon and all. But overall, I will say the game was surprisingly fun. I mean, it's a bizarre idea that worked very well, and if what this report is saying is true, I'm glad the game is doing very well. I think we need to see more of these third-party support continue to do well on the Nintendo Switch, and it seems that some companies are hitting it off alright, though. I mean, like I said, Super Bomberman R is doing well. Disgaea 5 Complete, even though that's a port of a PS4 game, is also doing very well. Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challenger, I heard, supposedly sold like over 400 copies worldwide. So it looks like some of these third-party games are doing well on the Switch. Whether or not how this will impact, say, the upcoming Bethesda's game, Doom and Skyrim, which is coming out, though I'm going to be talking about Doom in the third part, will remain to be seen. Same with Rockstar Games, but hopefully that momentum continues. I mean, I'm glad Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle is doing well. I'm hoping third-party developers' games do sell well on the Switch. I think the more third-party support, the better. But a lot of it's going to be how well they handle the game on the Switch, how well and will Nintendo fans open their wallets for it. So far, they've opened their wallets pretty good, and that's definitely a good thing. So I'm a little optimistic though, but cautious at the same time. So overall, glad that Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is doing very well. Here's to hoping that maybe they'll team up again and do a sequel. I mean, I would be open if they do a sequel though. And as I said in my video review, here's to hoping that 2K takes a look at this and considers bringing XCOM 1 and 2 over to the Nintendo Switch. That would be really great. Okay, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we come back, I am going to be talking about the final topic for this video. Will be about basically the previews that have come out about Doom, about some of the folks who've had hands-on with it, though, and give my thoughts about Doom on the Nintendo Switch. So we'll take a bit of a break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the third and final part of our My 2 Cent video for this week. For this one, we're going to be taking a look at some of the comments that have been made about Doom for the Nintendo Switch. Now, that's some of you are mostly aware of. Nintendo had a recent Direct, and probably one of the two biggest surprises that came out of this, or actually the big surprise though, was Bethesda announcing Doom and Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, for the Nintendo Switch. I was surprised to see this as well. I did not think the day would come to see Doom on a system like the Nintendo Switch. I mean, not that I was against the idea, I just did not know if they were able to pull it off. Well, but apparently they were able to do so, and so now previews of the event has come out based on what some people have played during the previews of Doom running on the Nintendo Switch. One of the things they wanted to point out that they made is that they played it with the Pro Controller and the game was played undocked. How it will look docked remains to be seen, but we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. But according to what we're getting more information that has come out, and some previews of the game has come out as well. Let me just post it up right here. According to several sources, including Nintendo Everything to Destructoid, again, I'll have a link in the description of this video, you can check it out. It appears as though the game appears to be a couple things. First off, Bethesda has confirmed that Doom's single-player campaign, along with its arcade mode, will fit in the 16-bit cartridge. The multiplayer mode will be separate download for the physical version, as we previously known. If you're interested in that mode, you will need 9 gigabytes of free spaces. In other words, if you're going for the all digital route, 17, 18, that means that it will take up 25 gigabyte space if you have a micro SD card. If not, it will take up 25 of the 32 internal storage. I know some people have sort of debated that though. In terms of what the resolution would be, I've been hearing that it will be at 720p, which is probably more than likely that's what's going to be. Undocked, obviously, is going to be at 720p. Don't know about it when it's docked, although I wouldn't be surprised if it is docked that it runs at 720p. The big one right here that might be an issue for some, and it's going to depend on how you look at it. Some people may not care, some people may not be a big deal. It is that it has been confirmed that the game will run at 30 frames per second compared to how it ran on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC, which ran at 60 frames per second though. It points out, let me get that out there if I can find it. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. It says, quote, from an article on Rolling Stones obtained the following statement from the publisher. The publisher is saying, quote, the game and rendering technology underlying Doom is extremely scalable. In bringing Doom to the Switch, we target outstanding visuals at a solid 30 frames per second, and by maintaining a constant 30 frames per second, the experience remained constantly fluid and smooth. We've been thrilled with the feedback that Doom is among the very best looking platforming games on the Switch. To some degree, I'm kind of mixed on this in certain ways, because having played Doom on the original, played Doom on the PS4, see it run at 60, 30, little iffy on it, but I'm willing at the very least give the game the benefit of the doubt and try it out myself, though. It's obviously clear there might be some people who may not be happy with it not running at 60 frames per second, which is understandable. But if it's stable enough, it runs at 30 frames per second, that's okay. I mean, I'm aware that the Switch is not going to get the same kind of visuals as, say, the PS4, Xbox One, or PC for that matter. I think going into that, I think a lot of people were aware that that's what's going to happen. The drop in frame rate, that might be an issue for some people. Am I losing complete sleep over it? Not really, though. Am I somewhat disappointed? Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed it's not running at 60 frames per second when compared to, say, like the PS4 release of Null. I think it's Noih. Pardon me if I'm spelling that wrong. That was released earlier this year. That gave you the option of going with a higher resolution but a 30 frames per second frame rate, or a bit of a lower resolution but at a high 60 frames per second. I believe Fire Emblem Warriors is doing the exact same thing as well. So it's somewhat a little bit disappointing that they're not keeping it at 60 frames. And it would have been nice if they had that graphical option when it's docked, though. But obviously there was a lot. Obviously, this is the best they can do. Then I'm willing to try it out to see for myself, though. But based on some of the previews that have come out, based on some of the articles, it appears as though the people are pleased with what the results is, even though it's not the final version. It's still planned to come out for the holidays. There's been some reports it might come out December 13, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with there. But so it's sort of interesting that dropping at 30 frames per second, but it doesn't seem to be hurting the overall experience, at least based on some of the reports and some of the articles that have come out about it, though. For me, though, I'm still willing to try it out. I mean, the idea of bringing Doom on the Nintendo Switch and bringing it as a portable to bring with you on the go is very, very impressive. And if this is executed correctly, I mean, this could open, I'm not saying it could happen, this could open the floodgates for maybe other developers to bring their game to the Switch, but at the same time it also opens up the argument is that you don't have an excuse anymore when you see a game like Doom running on the Switch. And also, it does open the idea that perhaps maybe developers could actually, that it's possible to port your games on the Switch. Now granted, there's going to have to be some changes to it, though. Obviously they have to compress and optimize in certain areas, though. Obviously that's what the developer has done with Doom on the Nintendo Switch, which we now know is being developed by Panic Button, which is also ironically working on Rocket League for the Nintendo Switch as well. So obviously this port house is working on it, and I will admit I'm very impressed with what they have done. So it opens the idea of possibly other games could be coming to the Switch. Now, is it possible that there are some games that are so graphically demanding that they may not be able to run on the Switch? That's a possibility. I mean, we can't rule out that as well. But it does open that door a little bit, and perhaps maybe other games could come to the Switch. And I'm hoping the game does well. I really do. I hope this, along with Bethesda's Skyrim that's going to be out in November, along with Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, and hell, even Rockstar with LA Noire coming out. I hope these games do well enough, though, because I would be open for Bethesda to support the Switch even more. I mean, it's possible that this could open the door to maybe them bringing other games as well. Maybe Fallout 4 might come to the Switch, though. That would be nice if they brought that over. Maybe they'll consider the idea of bringing the Evil Within to the Nintendo Switch. Possibly the second one, and maybe a port of the first one. Same with Rockstar. Hopefully LA North sells well enough that maybe they'll consider the idea of maybe bringing Grand Theft Auto 5 to the Nintendo Switch, or maybe Red Dead Redemption, or maybe Red Dead Redemption 2. Again, too early to say if that will happen or anything like that, though, but who knows? Who knows? Hopefully these games do sell very well, though. As for Doom, again, I think a bottom line for Doom is I am impressed with what I saw. It looks nice. I applaud the developing team for actually putting time and effort and doing what they can to make this version work. I'm waiting to get my hands on it and try it out myself, see how it feels, whether it's playing with the Pro Controller or whether it's playing with the Joy-Cons themselves. I do think the 30 frames per second might be an issue for some people, but it doesn't sound like it has so far, at least based on some of the previews I've read, have hindered some people's enjoyment to the game. So, interesting read. Again, I'll have a link in the description. So, we'll see how Doom plays out during the holidays. Hopefully, consumers will be happy with it. Hopefully, Nintendo fans will be happy with it. Okay, this concludes this video for my 2-cent video for this week, though. Before I end it, I do want to point out I'll probably do a second one. I want to talk about another subject. It involves YouTube in a certain way, so it's one of the reasons why there's not going to be a video game review for this week, unfortunately. So I'm sorry about that. I'll try to get to that one next week. But anyway, the other video I'll hopefully have up and running as soon as possible. But in your case, this concludes this my 2 cents for this week. And again, these are my opinions. But what are yours? What are your thoughts about the Galgun coming to the Nintendo Switch and also coming to the PS4? Did you enjoy the first game? Did you not enjoy the first game? Were you okay with the fan service, or did the fan service completely turn you off from even enjoying this game? And what about Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle? Do you think the game is selling well? Do you think, or is it just maybe just PR stunt or whatsoever? Have you played the game? Have you enjoyed Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle? Have you enjoyed it? Have you not enjoyed it? Have you run into any issues? And what about Doom on the Switch with some of the preview events coming out? Though, based on what you've read and seen, are you satisfied with Doom running on the Switch? Are you not satisfied? Are you planning to pick it up when it comes out? Is it running at 30 frames per second going to be an issue when playing undocked or even docked, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say most likely it's going to run at 30 frames per second when docked. That could change, but I'm leaning towards that though. Which, anyway, is 30 frames per second an issue with you? Is it not an issue with you? Again, we're going to plan on picking up Doom for the Nintendo Switch. Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree with what I said in this video? Do you have a difference of opinion, though? As always, sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal me, or you could do it through Patreon. Again, links will be in the description of this video. You could click on the links down there. It's evening in Southern California, and I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, for Southern California, I wish you all a good evening. Bye!